Well, from roads to car parks now, and the disabled driver who's had enough. Fed up with people parking in her spots, Lisa Chaffee is on a mission to name and shame.
If you're in a car and there's nobody in the car with a disability, don't park in the disabled car park. Simple. There's the people that think that 5 minutes in a disabled park's okay. And there's the people that have a disabled permit for one of their family members, but that family member's not in the car. And then there's people that figure that they're not going to get booked.
Armed with a mobile phone, 42-year-old university lecturer and former Paralympian Lisa Chaffee is exposing thoughtless drivers who make her life harder.
I need a wider park to lift my wheelchair out, and if I take the risk and park in a skinny park, I can often get back and find that I can't even get into my car. So I have to sit there and wait for someone who's parked beside me to come back.
Now, with the help of friends and Facebook, she's fighting back, posting photos of cars parked illegally in disabled parking spots online in an attempt to track the offenders down.
I often get anger and people go straight into defensive mode. So I've had people swear at me, I've had people make fun of me, I've been told to get an effing life, you effing loser. I've had whole families yell at me.
But now Lisa has an army in her corner, with friends and family on the lookout and the local newspaper near her Torquay home promoting her appeal.
She said, what I'm going to do something. I'm going to find out who's in my car parks, who's taken them, and I'm going to out them. And I think it's all about people power.
Nick Papps is the editor of the Geelong Advertiser.
We're seeing that people just aren't obeying the laws. They're thinking, I'll drop in for 5 minutes, it won't matter.
There's no such thing as a 5-minute disability. I've been disabled for 42 years. I'd like a 5-minute disability, I'd like a 5-minute reprieve. So it's not a time-limited thing.
For Lisa and thousands of other drivers with disabilities, a lot rests on access to parking.
For example, say I'm getting my groceries. I carry my groceries in a bag, carry them with my teeth. So you can get to the disabled car park, but if you have to go halfway down the road, it's an arduous task.
Naming and shaming is like a last resort, but I guess that's just an indication of how frustrated people can become.
Peter Perry is the CEO of Spinal Cord Injuries Australia.
You know, people with disabilities have enough problems as it is getting out of the house in the morning, getting to appointments on time, lack of accessible public transport, etc. So this is just another frustration that they have to put up with in their lives.
There is, of course, the other side of being judge and jury.
I support her by taking matters in her own hands. I think we've got to be careful, though. There's a balancing out between outing people and making sure we're not outing the wrong people.
I'm not a vigilante, and I don't necessarily need to name and shame people, but I need people to realise I need a shift in attitudes, and a shift in attitudes needs a groundswell.
But in the meantime, Lisa insists attitudes are getting worse rather than getting better.
We can't rely on the traffic bylaws to be our moral compass.
For now, those that cheat the system can rely on a determined woman and the power in her hands.
I mean, obviously people need to be fined, but I think it's more important that people don't do it in the first place rather than doing it and hoping they don't get caught.
You can see her point, can't you? And Lisa is hoping other disabled drivers do the same. If you are, please let us know.